Welcome back to Chasing Trophies. Hope everyone is doing well. Today we'll be talking about football and we'll be talking about Manchester United. United are starting the season after a decent season last year. It started really horribly. They lost to Grimsby. Manager got sacked. Michael Carrick came in, got off to an amazing start. We all thought, let's give it some time. We need to still make it to the top four. Made it to the top four. His contract got extended. Now he is the proper full-time manager of Manchester United, and he has a lot on his plate. He has to deal with the Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Premier League. He's got two signings in Tielemans and Santos over there. Obviously, more signings are expected to come. There is a lot of expectations going into the transfer market. This player, that player. There's a variety of United fans having different kind of arguments. Some people are saying this is actually good that they're not buying any random player and putting him in like they used to. Some people are saying, though, no, we need cover here, we need cover there, we need more squad depth. Obviously, injuries are a huge concern. We have injury-prone players like Martinez, like Mason Mount, like Euro as well. So let's see what happens this season. But Faz joining me. Faz, are you excited for the season? How do you look at Michael Carrick and this Man United team?
Yes, I mean, always excited to see Manchester United World Cup. Pre-World Cup also, like, despite whatever is happening, Amarim से फिर carrick ball with the moments that he gave us, City का 2-0 हम हमेशा याद रखेंगे, Arsenal का 3-2 हमेशा याद रखेंगे. Now going into this season again, yes, I'm excited. Yuri Tillmans आए हैं, थोड़ा वहाँ पे एक midfielder जो reliable hai. We saw his first game against PSG, dropping back, providing depth and also providing very good assists. Finding Bruno को ऐसा अच्छा connectivity दिख रही है, दोनों की तालमेल अच्छी नजर आ रही है. But I don't know if that's enough for going into this season. And because if you look at across the domain, like Arsenal is already ready, Liverpool is in a bit of a pickle, but it looks like Liverpool might even try to buy one or two more players. United का यही है कि भाई, like, the most annoying part is not just this season but over the last पोस्ट फर्गसन ही बोल सकते हैं अपन. प्री फर्गसन की भी एरा में काफी ऐसे चीला होते थे, बट फर्गसन जैसा हम बोलते हैं ना, संभाल लेता था. अगर आप उसको प्लेयर्स नहीं देते थे, लाइक स्नाइडर का रूमर था, रॉबिन का रूमर था, कितने रूमर्स मतलब फर्गसन के एरा में भी आए थे हमारे पास. बट फर्गसन ऑब्वियसली एक ऐसे मैनेजर थे, ही वन अ लॉट ऑफ कप्स एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, चैंपियंस लीग एंड ऑल दिस ग्लोरी. सो वी वांट be necessarily like upset about it, but post Ferguson आप देखो Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, टैन हाग, ओले गुनर सोल्शायर, किस का नाम हम सुने भाई. लाइक हालैंड आ सकता था, हैरी केन आ सकता था, कितने प्लेयर्स ऐसा हम मिस कर चुके हैं. अगेन ये सीजन में आप देखो, वी न्यू लास्ट ईयर से मैथायस फर्नांडिस हमारे पास बहुत इंटरेस्ट बताते थे. आई एम नॉट सेइंग ही इज द बेस्ट प्लेयर, बट what we require right now is someone like that, right? Like the kind of players that we're trying to attract to make that Manchester United brand again. I mean, I understand that argument ke bhai chalo we're not wasting money, but we're also not building that kind of a squad when we have that time to rebuild. Then we go again next season, we have a list of injuries, then we don't have squad depth, then again we succumb to pressure. एक मरते जीत के अगर किस्मत साथ दी तो एक EFL जीत जाते आप, नहीं तो अगेन हाँ टॉप 4 के लिए हम लड़ रहे, फिर नेक्स्ट ईयर वही आएगा कि चलो भाई रीबिल्ड करेंगे. सो अगेन अ वेरी लाइक वी डू नीड प्लेयर्स. लुक शॉ लास्ट सीजन आई थिंक आफ्टर 8 साल के बाद एक फुल सीजन खेला था. कैन ही डू दैट अगेन? वी होप ही डज. ही लुक्स मोर लीनर दिस टाइम अराउंड. पैट्रिक डोरगू भी काफी इंजरी प्रोन रहे हैं हमारे लिए लास्ट सीजन. सो अभी भी विद द स्क्वाड एंड व्हाट वी हैव टू प्ले, इट जस्ट लुक्स वेरी अनसेटलिंग दिस सीजन टू कम.
Yeah, I think even if you look at the striker situation, Sesko is injured as well. He is not played in the preseason, and Bemo is playing up front. If you notice, and I know he's scoring goals, and he's a very good goal scorer. But it would be lovely to have a backup striker as well. I think there are obviously room for improvement. You would want to identify your areas. I think right now defensive midfield is an area that needs to be identified. A couple of defensive covers and one striker would be ideal. So 3 players would be ideal in the ideal world. But even if you get one really good defensive midfielder, I would still take that, and then you can adjust accordingly and everything like that, because I've understood that this is not the Man United of old, and we are a kind of mid-table top 4 kind of club. I know people won't like me saying this, but we have to I've adjusted my expectations accordingly. But this is in an ideal situation, you would like 3 to 4 players, but if you get one player like a defensive midfielder, I'll still be very happy, because what happens if Mbeumo is not fit and Sesko is not fit? Who's going to play striker in that game, right? Then okay, I know you have Cunha over there. maybe they'll adjust like that, but I still feel that there needs to be some cover. Like, like even Chelsea, like when João Pedro comes off, they have striking options coming on. Danny Welbeck is there. Before they had Delap, like, so they have options coming on. So like that Arsenal, if Gyökeres comes off, they've got a striking option as well. Marino is there as well, like, he's done it for Spain. So every team has that option. So that's something that is a bit lacking. But I'm still looking forward, because I thought last season United had an amazing transfer window, and initially it looked like it wasn't good enough, and everyone's saying Baleba. But actually, if you see, they just had to twist the tactics a bit, and they had a very good season. But maybe the last season, if they replicated that kind of transfer window, would be a bit more happier, like 3-4 Premier League proven players. I think Tielemans, by the way, is a very good signing. He's 28, 29, so if he's 100% fit, I think that is a very good signing. I wouldn't say high quality world class signing, but it's a very good signing. I'm very happy with that signing. But again, the way the club is run, his injury, his fitness, I'm not sure. He came on for 20 minutes. I watched him pretty closely. He was breaking down plays defensively. He looked very astute, and also he was picking passes very nicely. There's one ball he gave to Bruno. There was a ball, he was spreading the ball around. He showed that calmness and composure that you need in midfield. So I'm very happy with the Tielemans situation. Santos, again, look decent. I haven't seen much of him because of the like Chelsea. Like, I don't think many people saw him, but he looks decent. So I don't mind these signings, and like I'm happy with them. But they're not obviously the signings that we probably wanted. One more signing would be great, and if we can get a defensive midfield, that would be incredible.
Yeah, and why to like it's a very chabalte. Over the time we've seen these things happen again and again, and I mean it's just becoming a little bit more annoying with every passing season that when are you कितना बेवकूफ समझेंगे मतलब फैंस को like now upon realistically we're just looking and saying okay, we're a mid-table team, but that's not going to change the fact that you're not moving forward as United, the club and the brand. What we expect, like these owners are just milking money out of the shirt sales, they're milking money, getting one big signing up Ronaldo को लाए, फिर उसके बाद you're announcing your links and stuff, shirt के sales हो जा रहे. अब आप ये situation में आप एक नया ground announce कर दिए. I don't think that ground was like the need of the hour. The need of the hour was to fix your squad, fix your management. हम कब से डायरेक्टर ऑफ फुटबॉल के तो हम कब से ख्वाब देख रहे, लाइक ये चीज आप ज्यादा करते तो आपका ग्राउंड तो ऑटोमेटिकली कहीं ना कहीं कभी ना कभी बेच तो भी देते. भाई आप खतारी वाला हमारे पीछे पड़ गया था कि मैं जासिम भाई ले लेते, बोल के जासिम भाई ले लेना था तो भी पैसे आते थे. एंड लास्ट ईयर प्रीमियर लीग था, 2-3 कप्स थे, बहुत अच्छी विंडो थी. आई डिडंट नो वन कंप्लेन अबाउट द साइनिंग्स इन टर्म्स के भाई कुछ करे नहीं. वी वर वेरी हैप्पी, बट दिस टाइम अराउंड अगेन वी कैन क्लियरली सी दैट देयर इज अ सेट ऑफ another 8 to 15 games that are coming our way. And last season as well, we didn't have our first 11. After the AFCON was the first time we actually got our proper first 11. वरना Sesko injured हो गया था, Bruno got injured before the I think during
the even after that I remember Cunha got injured, Mbeumo got injured, even like after we beat Arsenal City, there were injuries still there. Like that is a big problem. वो तो issue है. I noticed that even until May we didn't play the 11 we wanted. I saw Martinez got injured a few times. This guy got injured. Like it's not the injury though is a problem. I don't know how they're going to deal with that and what the situation is in Carrington. NCA India, COE India में यहाँ पे भी वही मसला दिख रहा मेरे को. Like I don't understand कि why the players don't stay fit, and that was I agree वो तो throughout the season problem था United को. We always have injury issues.
Yeah, and अब आप कब तक ये चीज बोलेंगे कि भाई we are in a transition, a building phase. So either you first build your squad, right, you get that depth and be a little bit more aggressive. भाई like आप आर्सेनल को देख लो, आप इवन चेल्सी पर चलो पैसे फेंक रहे, आप बोलोगे हमारे पास पैसे नहीं है. I don't think like that's realistic. आप you be a little bit more think. चलो 3 targets करो आप, don't even buy 10 people. 3 targets आपके एरिया का. लेफ्ट बैक, एक लेफ्ट बैक होना है आपको, एक सेंटर बैक होना है आपको, एक डिफेंसिव मिडफील्ड होना है. स्ट्राइकर में भी आप विंटर में देख लो, थोड़े बहुत अगर आप एडजस्ट कर सकते हो, किसी को ऑफलोड कर सकते हो. इट टुक अस सो मच टाइम टू जस्ट ऑफलोड दैट डेडवुड. The deadwood that we had during the Ten Hag and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's, Lingard and Martial and God knows who all we had to. It took us 7 to 8 years just to offload that. Ab, last year Amorim came, रफा दफा करा लोगों को, रैशफोर्ड को भी रफा दफा कर दिया, सबको रफा दफा. आई अंडरस्टैंड चलो टैक्टिकली नॉट द बेस्ट थिंग, बट ये जो क्लीनिंग प्रोसेस थी शुरू हो गया था. नाउ हियर यू हैड अपॉर्चुनिटी, यू गॉट कुनिया, यू गॉट सेस्को, यू गॉट अ कपल ऑफ प्लेयर्स. चलो ठीक है, 19-20 हुआ ड्यूरिंग द सीजन. कैरिक केम इन, ही प्रूव्ड दैट चलो एक टैक्टिक चेंज कर दिया, बेटर मैन मैनेजर बोल सकते हैं आप. एंड ही गॉट अस टू अ वेरी गुड थिंग. अगर पॉइंट्स वाइज अगर आप देखो, यूनाइटेड शुड हैव बीन टॉप, लेट्स जस्ट से लाइक जनवरी से अगर आप विंडो देख रहे हो, that United had most points out of the required games that were left of the last season. Now again you have a time to improve that squad, add a couple of more players to make your squad a little broader. But again, we're going back to our old ways. Matthias Nunes, Tonali, Elliot Anderson. Fear you're going to someone who is like, with all due respect, Anderson must be a very good player in the future. But right now, you need immediate ball winners, game changers. What Chelsea did, maybe not that age-wise, like Welbeck and thing, but they got people who can control the dressing room. And that's something that, like, Bruno is there. I understand how Bruno will become like 8-10 साल हो गए उनको, but you need to improve your squad and then only you will be able to challenge. नहीं तो फिर अगले साल आएगा, अरे हर मैनेजर आएगा, अरे ये प्लेयर नहीं समझ में आ रहे, मेरे को फेंको इसको बाहर, फिर उनका नहीं भाई building process. So it's become a little bit now very evident, like the owners are also not cutthroat के भाई जाके ये प्लेयर को लाना है तो लेके आना है. It's always that flashy one signing and then the fans will get excited and then again here we go all the situations.
But on the bright side, to give you a positive look at it, we haven't let go of any of our good players. If you see, Newcastle have got rid of the whole team. Liverpool have got rid of Trent Alexander-Mohamed Salah. They haven't replaced them properly. Tottenham, Son is gone. Harry Kane is gone. They've lost a few players. Liverpool have, Chelsea have lost a few players. I think Man City might lose Rodri. Arsenal is probably the only team who haven't really lost any player. So Man United, at least they've kept the players who took them to that third position, and Tielemans and thing is just added to that. So like at least you haven't have to replace somebody like a Bruno Fernandes. You don't have to replace someone like a Martinez or a Lemons. Maybe Lemons is replaceable, but I'm just saying you don't have to replace these players right now, right? Like even Sesko, is somebody who did a decent job last season. Like when Carrick came in, he worked on him like individually and everything and did a decent job. So in a positive aspect, they actually have a squad that got third place. You obviously, like as a fan, you always want more, you always want to improve, you're not going to be satisfied, and I completely agree. But one thing that the club has done, they've held on to their players, which is very difficult in this kind of the day and age, man. Vinicius Junior pe itna problem ho raha tha Real Madrid ko and stuff. Every club has that issue, and Man United, I think might have had the issue in the past. Look, Rashford, I'm not saying he's a new signing, but he's also adding that attacking depth. Maybe he can play the striker role or whatever like that. So they do have options right now. You obviously, as fans, we're looking at how we can improve the team and how, because we want to win the Premier League, and with this squad, we don't think we're going to win the Premier League. But at the same time, at least United have kept their core, they've kept their players, which not many people have done this season. Liverpool, I remember when they took out Trent, they replaced him with Frimpong, but they've never actually replaced Trent Alexander-Arnold now. So, and they speak, and he's gone there, he's wasted his career. Like Salah, how are you going to replace that? How are you going to replace those goals and those FPL points? Like, it's going to be so difficult. So that's one thing. United have an edge over some teams. I think that Bruno Fernandes, this is the guy we are saying, right? 20 assists, he's the best midfielder in the world. This and that, we still have him. We say that Mbeumo is the best right winger right now in the Premier League. So we have him.
And that is exactly 100%. Like that's exactly where you want कि हाँ भाई ये तो बेहतरीन है, ये है अपने पास, क्या बोलते हैं अपने कोर बोल सकते हैं, कोर को who is going to complement your core, you get those players like Alex Scott, Wharton. ये बच्चे हैं, अभी आप उठा लो, like be a little bit more foresee the future and get these guys quicker. वरना अभी क्या होता है, जब तक उनका बड़ा नाम बन जाते, आपने आप जैसे हालैंड का मैं बोलता हूँ, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer told United, भाई ले लो इसको अभी. Yeah, you had so many players.
That was the fault of Sir Alex Ferguson.
क्रूज भी था हमारे पास, क्रूज भी आ गया था हमारे पास, वो भी खत्म नहीं करे.
Yeah, but like that was Ferguson's fault, the Haaland one. And also, I think the Haaland situation, I don't think his father would allow him to come to Manchester United.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving an example, like, अब है यहाँ पे आपके सामने, आप एलियट एंडरसन के लिए नहीं खत्म करे, उन्हें तो शुरू में ही आपको मालूम था अवेलेबल था, फिर आप टोनाली करने गए, टोनाली तो स्पर्स छीनी हमारे से वो प्लेयर. Though I'm not saying they're the best probably, but there are Alex Scotts, there are Whartons, there's like people in the Premier League where you have a left back, be a little bit more, go for Luis Hall. Abhi दिख रहा आपको कि Newcastle is crumbling, go and put that pressure.
There must be some strain over there, because I remember last year it was
Evra भी गिन दिया था.
Last year there was the opposite story where Spurs wanted Mbemo, they wanted Cunha, and we stole them from him. I remember that the Mbemo was signing for Spurs, and then United came and swooped him up. Cunha swept him up. So there must be something. I don't know what it is, because with Champions League football you should have more money available and everything like that. But there must be some restraint or something like that where Tottenham is spending more money. Ulta ho gaya, right? When we were not in the Champions League, we bought all these players. Now we're in the Champions League. When Spurs were in the Champions League, we're covered.
आप चेल्सी को देख लो. Morgan Rogers is not going to a team that's playing it's playing champion, but he went for a whopping 170. But it's a good buy. You have 5-6 years from him, and he plays multiple roles. He gets you that crunch goal. I'm not saying okay, bhai, go get Morgan Rogers for 170. Don't try bring more smart, man. You are Manchester United at the end of the day.
But that is what they're probably considering smart. I think for them, so for example, Sancho 100 million, Anthony 100 million. They've spent these the Morgan Rogers and Sancho. I'm not saying the players are the same, but it was a very similar kind of thing. Sancho's coming, I was so happy. Anthony's coming, so happy. These guys are killing it. You spent 100 million on them. That's the player you want to identify. You got it. But now this is how if you see in and around the club, that's how they are explaining their the smart signings. You're saying Wharton, for them it's Tielemans. It's similar for them. They're saying. You want Wharton, you want that kind of player for 60-70 million. They're saying we'll get you Tielemans for 30-40 million. हम लोग ऐसा काम चलाएंगे, Santos काम चलाएंगे. That's how the club is thinking about it. From whatever I've seen in the press conferences and everything, for them, these kind of players are the ones who they think will do the job. Now we don't know what Santos can provide, so we're not sure. But they think that he'll provide what these guys who the targets were initially.
Yeah, that is the biggest issue, right? The club is not supposed to decide. It should be Carrick and that director of football. So हमारे साथ यही तो problem हो रहा कि भाई जो manager maybe Amorim को छोड़ देंगे, but before that there was so many list of Sancho and Anthony इनला were the भाई कुछ तो भी दे दो बोल के. चलो Anthony, I think Ten Hag wanted him, but there were so many players over the course of the last 10 years. Evra जैसे बंदे बोले कि भाई ये player नहीं मालूम. This is some people in suits who don't know anything about football. They are going and making the जब उसका कौन था वुडवर्ड के एरा में है ये बात कि भाई ये लोगों को फुटबॉल नहीं आता. तो अभी I hope this season if Carrick is the one who's taken these decisions, or if it is someone in that dressing room, Umar Barada and all of these guys, all the Ineos, whatever whoever they are, but अगर ये लोग ले रहे call and it's not appointed man, then we're going to see something very similar कि भाई Carrick not being packed, अरे Carrick से नहीं संभाल जा रहा. Did Carrick get all his signings? I don't think Carrick might be very happy right now, but he's going to just make use of it. He's one of those guys कि भाई नहीं यारो मैं United legend हूँ नको. Rashford को भी उन्हें inculcate कर ले रहा कि चलो I've played with him, he's debuted, but that's what exactly the thing is, that till we don't have that one panic कि भाई अब तो time खत्म हो रहा, फिर आप एक player ला देते 100 million में, and then you overpay for that, and then you're easily going to show कि भाई अरे ये कर दें हम लोग अभी ये टाइम पे ये चीज. बट अब फर्स्ट प्लेयर हमारा हैरी केन था उसमें. We wanted Harry Kane for 100 million, and I don't think Tottenham या कुछ ऐसा हुआ था कि बात शुरू हो गई थी, but then Bayern आके खैर ले ली थी. But that's the thing, we always wait. Mourinho के एरा में भी हम wait करे कितने प्लेयर expensive हो गए. We got Harry Maguire for 80 million, and we could have got it for 40 million. So there is a mix of things, but yeah, the director of football तो आना जरूरी है, and I hope these are Carrick signing rather than again Ineos intruding the transfer market.
Yeah, I think also for example the Tielemans, the Santos one, people is more of we don't know, right? That is why what the hell is this signing? We don't know. So that is a bit क्या बोलते उसको we're a bit oblivious to the situation.
Skeptic.
Yeah. But Tielemans for me, I think that's a very good signing. It's
I'm happy with it.
I'm very happy.
Aston Villa के लिए भी भाई बहुत अच्छा.
Yeah. So if you ask me, last year I was happy with the signings. There hasn't been a season where I've not been happy. When Cristiano Ronaldo came, the whole mood lifted, man. We were just but in hindsight, we shouldn't have got him. We should have got Haaland. We should have let him go to Man City. Ferguson shouldn't have made the call, and he should have gone to. But the problem is even me, right, or of the fans and everything. We do get angry and everything like that, but in the last 10 years we've enjoyed some of the signings. We're like, oh my god,
100%. I'm very happy even with the Cunha, Mbeumo signings, but
the Cunha was one of the best signings for me in a long time, because I just like the character and the style of play. Dorgo also crazy signing.
Dorgo very good signing.
He's also Amarim signing, I think,
Amarim
and then
signing.
Martinez, I think, is Ten Hag signing.
Ten Hag signing.
So like I mean, there's been some solid signings in the thing in the past and everything, but we haven't complained. But the problem is then once you do the signings and everything, वहाँ पे अपना problem होता है where like you got the injuries, you got the style of football and everything like that.
Yeah,
I was actually,
yeah, I think Amorim ke time se you could say that this was the manager's picks, like certain picks. Maybe Ineos must have said something, but pre that it just didn't look like Ten Hag.
If you see, he had half the Dutch team in the Man United. You got De Ligt.
He was very behind. He was very behind Frankie De Jong. तो बहुत पीछे but फिर रोनाल्डो से वो घसम-घसी हो गई. उसके पहले फिर आपके थोड़े बहुत प्लेयर्स इंजर हो गए. फिर आप मोरिनो के एरा में भी हम देखे ब्रेक डाउन हो गया था.
Even look now, even Jose Mourinho.
Solskjaer भी upset था.
Yeah. I clearly remember Jose Mourinho 2016. It was in Ramadan before Iftar. We got Pogba and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Yeah. I went crazy. Like मैं तो इतना खुश था यार. Like तो मेरे like so that's the thing. Like I mean, like every manager has been back to a certain extent, but like maybe you would require more and like maybe Michael Carrick has not been back as much as a Mourinho or as a thing or anything like that. I agree with, but there are times when we had insane signings. Like Mourinho got his players. There's one player that he didn't get. He made a huge fuss about it. But like a lot of the managers, even Ten Hag, I remember there's 4 or 5 Dutch guys suddenly came into the team and they were playing. Even Amirom and what's his name? David Moyes had some signings.
डेविड मोइस को तो निकाल लिए थे ना. तो टोनी क्रूज हो गया था हमारे पास. डेविड मोइस को निकाल लिए थे. उन्हें माटा को लेके आया था.
Yeah, so we got Juan Mata. So like every manager had like Van Gaal had like Falcao, Di Maria. Man, when we got Falcao, I was so excited. Di Maria was like he was at his peak at that time in.
वो तो उन्हें तो शाम था. But yeah, again.
But he was a peak footballer. Like I was very happy with that. So like there've been like amazing signings and stuff. Like, but just unfortunately, I don't know the reason. I don't think anybody can explain to me the reason why this they're not being able to win the league since Ferguson left. But there's been some good times. There's been some amazing signings, but also some very poor.
Yeah, I mean, it's just again a lot to do with the timing of the signing. A lot to do like yes, we as fans. I mean, also are to blame, I think, because हम बहक जाते थोड़ा, but हम ये भी नहीं देखते कि भाई क्या time पे कौन सा player आ रहा. At times, not all the players I would say, but I think moments FC बन गए in a certain thing. To look at the broader picture, I think a lot of United fans will get up and say कि भाई last year अब Amorim चलो हो गया वो किस्सा खत्म. Deadwood को कितना आप carry करें, आप offload करें नहीं, and बहाने देते के Lingard and all of these guys are sitting on the bench and so much money. You could pick up a lot more players in that situation. आप offload loans पे डालो, ये करो. But बहुत से लोगों को आप देखो, even Luke Shaw को आप देखो, this was the first season in 8, I think 18 में आया था, 17 में आया था हमारे पास. जब से लेके अब तक this is the first season that we've given him. And like then we had Martial, we had so many players. So I think it's just a lot to do with the timings of how aggressive also United is in a transfer market. Like पहले तो अगर होना है cut खत्म. Like obviously one for Ferguson used to be that, and then Ferguson संभाल लेता था. But अभी अगर आप देखो, like you need a DM and you've gone to 7-8 players and मजाक बन गया. Left back Lewis Hall नहीं हो रहा, look for someone else. Maybe Lewis Hall नहीं offload करेंगे Newcastle. So at least try to look for another option. And then striker में Watkins के बारे में हम बात कर रहे थे. I think Newcastle Aston Villa के साथ, but उसके बाद that also fell through. So it's all over again the timing. Now to next year if you get a Watkins, maybe it might not work out. Like that's the thing. Like जब need है and अभी player है rhythm में उठा लेने की रह रही. So I think it's that plus like we said, वो manager and director नहीं होने की वजह से वो top brass as taking decisions, and it's a lot of things along that way with man management हो गया. ये तो pitch के चीला है, but yeah, off the pitch also there's a lot of drama because United के कितने के legend भी आके गुस्से में आके they've been like this is not how things run at United.
Yeah, that is also a problem because the players also get offended and stuff. Roy Keane, Bruno Fernandes had a conversation after and they've sorted everything out.
Yeah.
But like that also becomes a huge drama situation. But again, at the end of the day, like it's going to be an exciting season.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. There'll be a lot of emotions going up and down and stuff at Old Trafford and in the Premier League in general. So do hit the like button, subscribe button, do comment as well. Thank you, Faiz, as well for joining. This was a lot of fun, and we'll have more videos related to football, Premier League, fantasy football as well. So do
United top 4 में रख रहा हूँ मैं तो United is in my top.
Yeah, last year Faiz had them number 1, so he was just 2 positions off, very close over there. But now this season. Let's see where they finish, and we will have our predictions, and we'll have our teams, fantasy teams, and stuff as well. So do join us for that. And we're close to 1,000. Try to
Yes,
get this there
please.
as soon as possible, please. And thank you, Faiz. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Take
you.
care and goodbye.